Good afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your hurricane outlook and discussion for August 15th, 2018. Looking across the globe, we need some dramatic music like Wide World of Sports has or whatever. Spanning the globe. You can tell that I've had some good sleep last night. Lots of activity in the western Pacific, a lot of it near land, and more action to come. Subtropical storm Ernesto and tropical storm Lane. Out of all of these systems, it is Lane that I am most concerned about, and that concern is only a little bit, if that makes any sense. Ernesto is going to head out, as you could imagine. All of these systems, we'll just play them one at a time. These are all, as I said, close to land, and we'll see what happens with Tropical Depression number 22, already up to number 22 out there. How about that? In the Atlantic, let's take a look at Ernesto, subtropical storm up here in the far reaches of the subtropical Atlantic. I mean, my goodness, that's the Azores Islands right through here, those little speckles, and this will head off into the colder waters of the Atlantic, maybe bringing some weather towards the northern portions of the British Isles, but we will see. This is basically a repeat of what we saw with Debbie, and the pattern is just kind of stuck that way for now, but it won't be forever. I can almost assure you of that. Looking in the Pacific, there's Lane. Looking at the 5-day forecast, going to be another major hurricane, really going to pile on the ACE points, the accumulated cyclone energy for the Pacific Basin here, the eastern part. And as I will show you at the end here with the GFS run, we have to at least say, hey, Hawaii, pay attention. Again, as if they need Mark from HurricaneTrack.com to tell them that. But, hey, some people do rely on me, and I appreciate that. So, yes, we're going to want to watch Lane because it's going to head in the general direction of Hawaii. And once again, I really like what Josh Morgerman had to say about the last one, Hector, that the tabloid media really went crazy with Hector, that, a hurricane could be heading for Hawaii. It was just so blown out of proportion and inaccurate. Well, the accurate thing is that we need to just keep an eye on it, because the fact is it will be heading in the general direction of where Hawaii is situated on a map. So we'll need to watch it. It's more than a week out, though. In the Atlantic Basin, more convective activity today. This is interesting. We'll have to see if this lasts and where it ends up. Frontal system washing out off the East Coast as a trough came through and brought some very heavy rain through Pennsylvania. More flooding and other issues up through that region over the past couple of days. Off the coast of Africa, there's definitely more moisture. I would show you the Saharan air product from the University of Wisconsin site, but hey, let me prove it to you. I'll show you, okay? But it's not working. So you go down here and you see Saharan air layer analysis. It is out of commission. That's what it says right there. Temporarily unavailable due to external issues. Oh well. I just wanted to show you. I'm not being lazy or I'm, whatever. It's not available. But you can tell just from the infrared shot, there's definitely more moisture coming off. This looks like it's got a little bit of cyclonic rotation to it. But still, I know 5 days doesn't sound like that much, but we're still 5 days away from the traditional climatological ramping up where you really start going up in the probability of formation in the Atlantic Basin. And that's, 5 days. And I'll give you just a quick example here. I was looking at the models, I do every single day, whether it's 5 days, 10 days, and then out to day 16, kind of looking for patterns. Is everything going to be stuck? Is there going to be any changes? Or are there going to be any changes? And I noticed, August 15th, a lot of people consider August 15th the start of the Cape Verde season or whatever. Me, it's August 20th. That's typically August 20th until about mid-October, maybe October 20th. It's about a 2-month period in my mind. And just last night, if you looked at the GFS, and there's been some chatter about it out there in the hurricane world, the model started showing systems at the end of the run when they weren't there. So it's literally like, bam, as soon as we got to August 15th, it's like somebody turned on a switch. And it just takes time for things to get conditionally favorable. And I'm seeing some other signs, which I'm going to talk about more tomorrow. I wanted to try to keep this short, and I'm failing at that. But I am seeing the signs that September will be busy. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be busy. And that's not a forecast. Oh, Mark said it's going to be busy. I am seeing the signs that it could be busy. And I'm going to show you some of those tomorrow. All right? Right now, not much to worry about. Again, with Ernesto is heading out. Elsewhere, almost no convection to speak of in the Gulf of Mexico. Same can be said for most of the Caribbean Sea. All right, moving on to the Eastern Pacific. Here is Lane, and here's a disturbance that rode up the southern part of the Gulf of California there. But Lane is really going to be one to watch, as I mentioned, as it moves off steadily to the west-northwest with time, and the rest of the intertropical convergence zone and areas north of there in what we call the main development region of the Eastern Pacific. Still pretty active, but this will eventually calm down, and especially we've seen what Ben Knoll has talked about on the European Ensemble Prediction System, that the upward motion will move over into the Atlantic Basin towards the end of the month, and especially into September. All right, so let me show you what's what. West coast of the U.S., and the Baja right there, California, down to Mexico. Just draw the other side to fill it all in. Geography lesson, courtesy of Mark. And here is the big island of Hawaii. So let's put all of this into motion over the next 5 days. That is Lane right there. See it? Very clear. That's that ball of vorticity that I talk about so often. And you see that it heads in the general direction of Hawaii, but that doesn't mean that it'll continue to do so, and it doesn't mean that it's going to end up in Hawaii. It's just something to keep an eye on as it makes that more of a northerly turn there towards the end. You just have to wait and see. Another 3 days after this, and it could be closer. It could be way up here. It could be far to the south. You just never know. But it's out there, and for you that have interests in Hawaii, I will keep an eye on it, and as well as a lot of other people, I'm sure. So no worries there. All right, well, that's it for today. Again, there's just nothing else going on. Tomorrow we'll get the update from the different sea surface temperature anomaly charts. I'll tease it by telling you I was reading some stuff on a forum that there may be some problems in some of the analysis tools and some of these wind shear charts that are coming out. Oh, looks like the shear will be higher than normal at the peak of the season. Well, why? It doesn't just magically happen, and I'm going to show you that there may be some flaws in the data. And if the data is wrong, then the shear won't be there, right? We shall see. So I'm going to show you that tomorrow. I'm going to make my case for a busy... Hey, there's a cat. Cat just came in the office. You hear that? It's too bad I don't have the video on today, because I could show you where you see me. I haven't shaved in like 10 days, so... Hey, kitty, you want to say hi? You going to do it? She's like right at the mic. That's great. I should have had the video on today. That's our cat Marley, if you heard that. That's classic. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead, all right? You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. We will go over a lot tomorrow. I'm Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, and the cat. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.